throw somebody's, illegitimize them because they say they are a believer. It's just so arrogant.
You get another brilliant idea, a special idea, another situation, another stop.
Paper, some other choice we're gonna try and make for you. You gotta do it, Randall Pink.
I'd like to say how much I miss y'all's ugly mugs. What you say, Clinto, where you? You ready to go for a ride, Andy?
A former Alistair celebrity, Matthew McConaughey, has not been seen on the big screen for quite some time. In a recent revelation, Matthew revealed the reason behind his absence.
I think people perceive stereotypically me to be.
He alluded that he has fallen from grace in the eyes of the elites. This revelation has set the industry into a wild frenzy. Matthew has asserted that he has been working hard for his roles, but Hollywood kicked him to the curb when he didn't do what they wanted him to do.
I hustled in both senses of the word throughout my career.
Let's delve into the nitty-gritty deets of McConaughey's career that led to this devastating setback. Matthew David McConaughey, the talented and hardworking American actor, rose to prominence with his breakout role in the coming-of-age comedy Dazed and Confused. From there, he garnered success through a series of supporting roles before truly making a mark as a leading man in the legal drama A Time to K. Known for his captivating performances and Oscar-winning talent, McConaughey has become a respected figure in the entertainment industry.
Took advantage of things when I could, and opportunities and places and people. Yes, some great fortune fell into my lap. Hopefully I did.
In an interview with CNN, Matthew revealed that his success and career were limited by higher-ups. He explained that he was never in the driving seat of his career. He said,
"A big hinge point in my career was about 15 years ago after I was such a successful romantic comedy lead. I'd been so successful in the romantic comedies that the dramas I wanted to do were not being offered to me."
Matthew went on to reveal that his image was being controlled by the Hollywood elites. He explained that since he was being forced into a box by the alleged elites, he stood his ground and quit his job.
Hollywood and was saying, "No, you stay in your zone, Matthew McConaughey. You're a rom-com guy." So when I couldn't do what I wanted to do, I stopped doing what I had been doing, which was the rom-com.
Just like any other celebrity who ever stood up to the holistic agenda, Matthew was kicked to the curb by the industry. Matthew courageously admitted that he knew he was calling it quits on his career when he decided not to be a puppet for the higher-ups. It is quite clear that Matthew sacrificed his career because he couldn't be an industrial pet. However, since Matthew was an Oscar-winning actor with a lot to his name, Hollywood had to bend down in front of his demands. He explained that his 2-year hiatus did him wonders because all of a sudden he was being offered the drama roles he wanted to do before. It is interesting to note that Matthew was not undermined by Hollywood's old tricks of intimidation.
Hollywood finally forgot me when they didn't see me in a rom-com in the theater or in their living room, or didn't see me shirtless on the beach for 2 straight years. It was all of a sudden I found some anonymity.
Now, if you think that's all Matthew had to say about the inner workings of the industry, you've got another thing coming. In an interview with Gary Vaynerchuk, Matthew revealed that a few months into his hiatus, he was offered a part for $8 million, which he rejected. Though the studio later increased the offer up to $14.5 million, McConaughey remained steadfast and didn't take the part. He said, "I shed many tears with this choice. It was scary. I was leading a successful life as an actor. I was the go-to rom-com guy. I like doing rom-coms. They paid well. But I still said, boy, I'd sure like to do some work that challenges me, and that work dramas were not being offered to me. So I will go on this sabbatical away from Hollywood. I say not to every rom-com script that comes into me. I even turned one down for $14.5 million. Despite joking about the improved quality of the script after the impressive offer, McConaughey ultimately stuck to his decision and declined the opportunity. As a result, the movie itself never came to fruition without his involvement. In hindsight, it is quite clear that the industry tried their best to pressure Matthew into succumbing to their will, but it was in vain.
I shed many a tear with this choice. It was scary. And trust me, my family, my brothers and mother and everybody thought I was out of my frickin' mind.
However, McConaughey's gamble proved to be a wise one. In the years that followed, the actor experienced a remarkable career transformation. He successfully transitioned into lead roles in major drama films, showcasing his talent and versatility on the big screen. McConaughey's decision to follow his instincts and take a different path paid off handsomely, solidifying his status as a respected and sought-after actor in the industry. Now, we all know that Matthew has been a high achiever in his career. However, he admitted that not all of his co-workers were fans of his success. In an interview with Joe Rogan, Matthew explained that since he was always a true believer, he was not accepted by people in the industry. You see, Matthew has always been very open about his religious beliefs and what he thought of the leftist community. At one point, he asserted that his religious beliefs are not separate from his belief in science. He even called science the practical pursuit of God.
The two are not exclusive. They dance together. They go together. Belief in science.
When it came to his daily life practices, McConaughey has openly spoken about certain parts of the Bible that he didn't quite understand, including Jesus' miracles that he performed. I don't know what to do in my daily life with the burning bush. I do know what to do with love your neighbor like yourself, and I do know what to do with some proverbs that I can take into daily practice. There's philosophies, proverbs, and teachings that are very valid and helpful that we could all be reminded of. Now, we all know that in the era when each and every elitist preaches satanic ideologies, it is quite obvious that Matthew might be a thorn in their side. Well, later in the interview, Matthew revealed that his co-workers avoided congratulating him when he was on the stage getting an Oscar. He said,
"And when I thank God, I saw some of those people go to clap, but then notice that, whoa, this could be a bad thing on my resume," and then sit back on their hands.
To top it off, Matthew has been using his voice to promote ideologies that openly oppose the leftist agenda that predominates in Hollywood. During a conversation on Russell Brand's Under the Skin podcast, the Oscar-winning actor shared his thoughts on bridging the divide in today's politically fragmented landscape. McConaughey explained that the key lies in finding shared values and a shared sense of humor, while also advocating for tactical changes from what he refers to as the illiberal left. He emphasized the importance of identifying common ground and focusing on what unites people rather than what divides them. We live in a time, I feel, in my country and yours, where there's this sort of, I have sensed a lot of condemnation and criticism of what I might describe as normal working people. A kind of offhandedness. Oh, they're dumb, they're voting for Brexit, they're voting for Trump. I don't like it, and I don't like to hear it because of my own experiences and my own upbringing. I spend enough time with people who have been described in this manner to feel ill at ease with it. How do you feel about that kind of judgment? McConaughey also talked about what he considers shared values, where both sides can come together. Basic trust, agreeing not to cheat one another, and a sense of fairness. Even a sense of humor. If you don't know how to react, let's make sense of humor our default emotion. A hell of a lot more of us would get along. And people go, yeah, but when you laugh, it denies the crisis. No, it doesn't, he said. It actually unties the knot in the contradiction of the crisis and allows us to go, oh, it's a paradox. Yeah, I'm laughing. We've still got work to do to fix the problem, but we can laugh our way through that. Or the laughter can open us up to communicate that. To add to that, McConaughey has dared to shed light on the current state of the political battle, where the lines between right and wrong have blurred. With a poignant insight, he observes that regardless of the side you choose, the politicians seem to have lost sight of their original motives and principles. The two sides, the two vehicles on either side of the political aisle, are so far apart, their tires aren't even on the pavement anymore. Trust me, it's free over here in the middle. There's plenty of room. You might not know, but Matt has long been known for his apolitical stance, as he has a history of avoiding questions about his partisan leanings and keeping his political views private. However, in a surprising turn of events, he recently hinted at a potential shift in his approach. In an interview with Hugh Hewitt on The Hugh Hewitt Show, McConaughey left the door open for a potential run for Texas governor. It would be up to the people more than it would me. I would say this, look, politics seems to be a broken business to me right now, and when politics redefines its purpose, I could be a hell of a lot more interested. After sparking curiosity with his previous hint about a potential run for Texas governor, Matthew quickly quashed any speculations in a candid interview on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. When asked about the possibility of entering politics, the actor-turned-philanthropist firmly stated that he doesn't fully grasp the complexities of politics and views. I have no plans to do that right now. Right now, no. I don't get politics. Politics seems to be a broken business. Politics needs to redefine its purpose. We all know that Matthew has always been high and tight about his privacy, but the actor revealed that he had to pay a heavy price to keep his public and private life separate. The actor shot to fame in the 1990s with roles in films like A Time to Decay and Contact, but said that because of his status, he and his mother Mary ended up becoming estranged for a period of time, as she would spill intimate details about him to the media. Speaking on the Wind Down podcast, he told host Jonna Kramer, "I tried to change my mom. For 8 years, her and I had an estranged relationship where I couldn't have more than a conversation of, 'Hi, Mom, doing good, love you, bye.' Anything she asked me, I couldn't tell her personally because she didn't have a governor. She'd go to the press. She showed up on TV show, Hard Copy, taking people to my childhood room, showing people, this is where he lost his virginity. There were years where I could not talk to her. I tried to change her. I need just a mom right now, not a fan, and I didn't have it." The How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days star went on to add that he tested his mother by seeing just how much personal information she would share about him, as he explained to her that there are still some people in his life that he prefers to keep at arm's length and only sees occasionally. He added, "What I tried to pull off was, I'm going to give you more information to see if I can trust you with it again. And it was like, quit trying to prove that point. Just don't give it to them. Don't give them that much. That's where our relationship is. And let's make it healthy and fun with what our relationship can handle. There's a lot of people, friends and relationships in my life that I think are better, that I have at an arm's length. We don't need full, all detail, all access intimacy with all people in our life. There's some people I like running into. That's where we're best." Let's not forget that, during an appearance on an episode of the Hollywood Reporters Awards Chatter podcast, the 49-year-old actor revealed that he had gone out for the lead role in James Cameron's 1998 Best Picture winner, and he even thought he was a shoo-in, but ultimately lost out on the part to Leonardo DiCaprio.
Don't do it.
You're distracting me. Go away.
I can't.
He said, "I wanted that. I auditioned with Kate Winslet. Had a good audition. Walked away from there pretty confident that I had it. I didn't get it. I never got offered that. I was also living on a beach and going out without my shirt on. Just like I did before I was famous. I was living a romantic comedy." Away from his public persona, McConaughey has had many tragic experiences while growing up. He was also forced to deal with unprecedented events later in life after becoming famous. Even as a student, he was popular and even bagged an award titled Most Handsome Student. However, life at home wasn't exactly smooth for the young actor. He later revealed that he witnessed violent incidents as a child, but never really thought his parents were abusive, even though he acknowledged that others would probably perceive their actions as such. He said, "I was scared at the moment, but even then and immediately after that, I didn't ever question the love that mom and dad had or the love that they gave us." McConaughey has reflected on his upbringing and the experiences he had with his parents. Despite witnessing violent incidents as a child, he does not believe his parents were abusive. He mentioned that even when he was disciplined or hit, he felt he had earned it and had been misbehaving. McConaughey's approach to parenting differs from his own parents, as he prioritizes open communication with his own children, which may not align with his mother's perspective. Apart from that, in his memoir, Matthew revealed that he had to go through hell and back to get where he stood in life. Matt unveiled that when he was just a teenager, he was blackmailed into intimacy by someone, but that wasn't the end of his hurdles into adulthood. He explained that he went through another tumultuous experience when he was taken advantage of when he was 18. However, despite these hurdles, he did not let them get in his way of a happy life.
Matthew also spoke about a time when he was molested by a man when he was only 18 years old, and apparently he was knocked unconscious in the back of a van when it happened.
McConaughey first detailed the two encounters he had in his memoir, Green Lights. He then appeared as a guest on The Conversation with Amanda de Cadenet to share that these negative experiences did not beat him. "I'm not going to be afraid of relationships because my first experience was blackmail. That's an aberration. No, that's not the way it is," he said on the podcast. "And if I go on, and I'm not going to let it beat me, I'm not going to let that beat my sense of trust in people and say, no, I can have a healthy relationship." Matthew said that he is not denying the trauma that happened to him, but he won't let it get in his way. "I still get, even telling you this story, I get, but am I going to carry that? I chose non-negotiably. I'm not going to carry that. Bring that baggage into the life I'm going to lead, and how I treat people, and how I trust people, and how I look at circumstances and the risk I may take." In his memoir, he highlighted the fact that he had it rough after high school when he decided to enroll in an exchange program that took him to Australia. Things weren't exactly the way he expected them to be, and he had to find a way to get through a difficult year. He said, "I was with a very odd family in the middle of the country in nowhere, Australia, so my visions of beaches and Elle Macpherson were never realized. Let me just put it that way. So I'm there for a year and I was forced. I had no friends, I had no job, I had no phone, I couldn't call, I was forced to rely on myself. I would not not be where I am today with the life I had if I did not have that year, that very tough year that I had in Australia. Additionally, McConaughey may be rather popular and well-known now, but that wasn't always the case. The actor had to face his share of struggles when he was starting out in the entertainment industry. As reported by Entertainment Weekly, McConaughey first tried to make his mark as a hand model when he was feeling demotivated about the sheer number of rejections he had to endure when he was in film school. He was told by a talent agent that he had good-looking hands. He was also advised to stop biting his nails and take care of his hands to pursue such a career.
When did tequila stop being tequila?
Right? Where's the fun?
Moreover, McConaughey received a huge blow when he found out that he'd lost his father, James Donald McConaughey. He spoke to Tim Ferriss about his loss and said that losing his father made him more open to risks as far as his work was concerned. He said, "My dad being this sort of just because he was alive and above government and above law was now gone. I had no safety net all of a sudden. My knees buckled. I couldn't believe it. He was my dad. Nobody or nothing could K him." Even though Matthew McConaughey had achieved a considerable amount of success, he's always felt like he could do better. The actor always believed that the dreams he had were better than reality itself. He said, "I've never done a film that's lived up to what I imagined it could be. I've been a part of a bunch of films that I highly respect and really have a love for and think are great. And I've done performances that I'm very happy with, and I'm like, good job, McConaughey, but nothing that I've ever thought, and I don't think I'll do one that does." You might not be aware, but McConaughey had a controversial incident in 1999 that he wrote about in his memoir. In the middle of the night, he was naked in his home with the windows open, smoking marijuana and listening to music. The police in Austin responded to a complaint, broke into his home, and arrested him for disturbing the peace, possession of marijuana, and resisting arrest. McConaughey was displeased with the situation, refused to put his clothes back on, and yelled at the police officers to assert that he believed he was not in the wrong. Ultimately, McConaughey received a fine of $50 for the incident. However, it garnered significant publicity, and he mentioned that T-shirts with the phrase "Bongo Naked" started appearing all over Austin shortly after the incident.
My off days, I start drinking at noon. You don't get to interrupt that.
In a surprising turn of events, the actor also had his heart set on playing the Hulk, but never quite got the chance to fulfill his dream. As reported by the Huffington Post, he was rejected when he showed interest in being a part of the Marvel hero's world. When he was asked whether he made his interest in the role known, he said he did, but he was turned away. He said in an interview with Variety, "I've read some Marvel and DC scripts, and I've talked about working with them on some scripts, none of which I'll share with you what they are, or were. Yeah, I've circled some of those. Nothing has been right for me yet, but I'm sure open to it." Apart from that, McConaughey has not quite been able to crack the code. Despite winning several awards for his roles over the years, including an Oscar, he's not been able to achieve success at the box office. The actor has acted in many interesting films, such as Interstellar, White Boy Rick, Serenity, The Gentleman, and more, but he knows that he has not consistently been able to deliver commercial hits. He said, "The box office failures didn't dampen my love of acting. If anything, they made me more feverishly committed to my craft. In my career now, I was more than an entertainer. I was an actor, an artist, and that satisfied me. My career was full." Despite all the struggles Matthew went through, his fans champion him for being a man of honor in this age and time. This brother has a lot of integrity. He passed up on some roles for some better ones. He picks his scripts very carefully, unlike most actors who never seen a script they didn't like. Matthew McConaughey has a lot of discipline, and he takes his craft very seriously. He has progressed to being a very good actor. So God bless this brother. He is an inspiration. This is what a real Hollywood celebrity of honor looks like. All in all, although Matthew has had a fulfilling career, it is not an understatement to say that he wasn't able to show his full potential as he had to play his part from the sidelines. Given his political and religious perspectives, it doesn't take a genius to understand the reason behind the limitations of his success. That's it for today. See you at the next one. Goodbye.